No matter the setting, projects so full of creatures, cultures, magic, or none are nothing without the world they exist within. Continents become characters, and the breeze whispers narrative purpose, often in so subtle a way that the average reader might not even realize it, but be immersed all the same. On this channel, I've spoken multitudes about the Dragonslayer Codex and its titular dragons, the animals adapted to survive among them, and, of course, the human societies built around these monsters. I have, in passing, slipped odds and ends regarding the makings of this world itself, and today intend to shine light onto it. So let's cover the actual world of dragons. We start with an overview. The world itself is ancient, overgrown, abundant. It sits in stark contrast with that of modern Earth, whose ecosystems come second to man, civilization whittling away at the remaining scraps of the wild, like how a dog gnaws a bone for that last vestigial scrap of tendon left clinging to a rotten piece of calcium. In the world of the Dragonslayer Codex, that hostility is made intentionally reversed. The aggressive clearing of habitat for farmland is now jungles so thick they will choke a living being in minutes by their sheer rate of growth alone if one stands still for too long. Oceans clotted in plastic are mirrored by brine so hostile it boils with the fins and scales of sea monsters ready to tear apart a traveler with the same viciousness given by an oil rig's toxic spillage into pristine seawater. This world winces with heat not caused by CO2 emissions, but by the scalding ribbons of dragon fire, which keeps mankind relegated to their small, isolated reserves. Dragons patrol the skies like poachers on the hunt for rare megafauna. For with a population of less than 100 million and declining, humans here are nearly that themselves. This is a land of immense natural presence. It is oppressive in its encroachment onto human settlements, and the best we can do is merely adapt to its whim. This realm is immense in size as well. Double the scale of Earth, there exists forests the length and depth of the Atlantic Ocean, dizzying stone spires of lush caps above and scalding geysers below, deserts that stretch for several years' worth of travel to its nearest exit, and oceans that explorers aren't even certain the full extent of. The size of the world creates a thick atmosphere of soupy proportion compared to the crisp air of Earth. It cushions the huge dragons into flight and supports their heavy bodies. Fire roars in abundance in this air, plants and animals both adapting to use its power or shield against it. Its density produces furious storms that break the mightiest dragons, level any city cocky enough to build above ground, and can rage for months at a time. Some are even permanent, such as the eternal sandstorm at the heart of the Dune Sea, but more on that soon. Now, taking a step back, I must inform that, as this is a work of fiction, I must bend the laws of nature in this universe to better serve my storytelling needs. This is why large, heavy dragons can even fly, despite their iron scales, and breathe fire or even molten metal, but also how such animals can exist in a large world, despite the obvious effects of gravity. As a world builder, I strive to offer explanations as best as my ability, while also leaving room for the fantastical. As to me, a dragon is so fantastic as to be worthy of such rule-breaking after all. Now, regarding the history, I will not divulge it all as to leave surprises for the books I plan to publish, and that is books with an S. I plan to do many. Keep an ear out for that. But millions of years prior to the current time, ancient supervolcanoes tore apart the realm, cracking stone, tearing mountains, and gutting chasms deep into the intestines of the world. That apocalypse destroyed most life that existed before. Ancient megafauna and all their history snuffed to the fury of the volcano. What remained were a handful of beasts, the clever primates using their minds to ensure survival. These small generalist ungulates and various rodents and other small vermin. Ocean life perished aside from a mere handfuls of genera. The earliest dragons lived, however, At this stage of evolution, they were mere insect-eating flyers, spitting fire at larger threats and hiding from primordial sky terrors that dominated before them. In a world torn by lava and shaking with thunder, dragons soared a new sky forged in fire and carried on its will to this day. The current terrain reflects this Armageddon. The caldera, mentioned in the last video, is the dormant remains of the inciting supervolcano, the size of a continent and still emanating heat from its soil. Southward, the world's cathedral stands as a rocky land of geysers and tunnels, high peaks and black ravines. The water here boils as underneath lava still roils. Hot springs offer large animals relaxation at the expense of a myriad of dangers, but dangers come common in a land such as this. Swamps gurgle in steam, the expansive mud pits of the south stretch so far one might assume it was an inland sea. Unstable and acidic, the mud will eat the rotten corpses of carrion if hungry mouths don't reach it first. Mountains stand pitted like fruit, hollow from the ancient apocalypse. Stone arcs litter the landscapes, and caves run deep, and many are far from claustrophobic. The land has not forgotten its scars. Dragons may prevent humanity from building and expanding empires as they did on Earth, but in this world of the Dragonslayer Codex, it is civilization that rides the line of extinction, persecuted by a world feeling animosity and disinterest in the desires of man. A world too big for us. Settings are more than backdrops, and the strongest of them leave lasting impacts on us. And while I am by no means placing my world among them, I still feel the desire to share a shred of my actual setting that these fantastical beasts I created exist within. If you enjoyed this, please do let me know, and I will continue my thorough examination of this world. I've enjoyed, by the way, all my activity in the community Discord as well. You guys are great. And, of course, thank you to my patrons and those who have newly joined. You are inspiring and keep this channel up and running. Thank you especially to my top patrons listed here. See you in the next video. Until next time.